Welcome back to hour 3, actual play Scum and Villainy. How are we gonna do this crazy thing that we're about to do?
Great. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Last we saw, there was a screen, and there's this blipping, and the person that you're looking for is headed towards a place called the imprinting chamber, and what are you fine folks doing? Are you trying to race there ahead of them, or like what's
Yeah. I think I'm gonna radio over this comms, be like, we need to get to the imprinting chamber and really fast. Do you think you can make a distraction? Yeah.
All right.
And I think at that point, that's when we should head off. But I'd like to cut back to Lauren and
Sure, like you see us like book it, and then
So before we head off to Lauren, because I want to see. Well, actually, I feel. I just want to know: are you guys scrambling there? Are you skulking there? What is your booking look like? Are you still trying to sneak through the area because like you're not noticed yet?
Yeah, I think sneaking makes a bit more sense right now. I guess it depends. If it seems like it's like we are literally going to have to race to make it there in time to get there before they get to the imprinting chamber, then maybe we would run. I think we'd use the speed that would be.
I think that you can't dilly-dally. Like, this is not a thing where you can come back tomorrow, but I think that for the purposes of cinematics,
You know what? I want to see us run. Let's run. Let's just haul ass. Let's just
because if you scramble, you're probably just going down a direct route, and everyone's gonna notice what's going on. If you're doing like a skulk, it doesn't have to be slow. Like, for example, you could be
we're gonna skulk
crawling
there
along like pipes in a catwalk through like the main manufacturing room or something, which is your shortcut, but sneaking in the sense that you're trying not to be seen by taking stealthy routes.
Okay.
We finally get to go up into the ceiling. Yes. It could also be like we book it from like this corner to that corner when the line of sight's clear, and then like come to like a screeching halt, peer around the corner. Right, like the quick skulk.
Yeah. Skulk makes sense. Especially since we don't want quite our cover to blown. Scramble maybe once we have extracted. So yeah.
I would because Boz is great for scrambling.
Well,
Boz actually, for just as a point of note to everyone watching, Boz got some XP and has invested XP into an extra dot of scramble. So we may see that once how do we call it? The hoopla starts.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, let's start with Skulk.
So group action Skulk.
Yep. And I think I would like
60 quick Skulk. Nice.
60. I think I would like to see if Lauren can give us a setup action to improve our effect here. With the distraction. Is timing wise, is that okay, or should we do the skulk the moment we head off?
A setup usually enables you to do a thing that you may or may not usually be able to do. So it would improve your effect by moving a large quantity of people out of your routes.
Yeah.
If you can think of a way to do that, I'm down with it. But I myself don't have an idea right now.
Right.
I mean,
because we're trying to get you to there, right, rather than everyone else to you.
I think we're going there.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like both are options.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a way to get out of the room that I'm in, perhaps.
Yeah.
I could call a lot of attention to myself, but I would be putting myself in a very, very risky position, I think, if I was doing that. So
cool. Let's try it. Let's try it on our own, and then we'll flash back to see how Lauren gets out.
Awesome. Okay. So let's so group skulk action, who's leading?
My stress level is going to tell me this is a bad plan, but I think Faye will do it.
Okay.
Are there any assists, any pushes, any
I can't push.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but
It's okay.
I'm at the point where if I push and we both get a bad result, I'm trying out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna push.
Not playing the odds, eh? All right. Cool.
Here's the thing that I will do though.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, there's gonna be plenty of doors in the way.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to, if you'll take this as a devil's bargain, when we get to some door, I'm just gonna be like, fuck it, and just stick my thumb on a door so it'll open faster than us having to like pry it open.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Awesome.
No problem. This does mean that they'll have your gene sample on file.
Yep.
All right.
Got it.
God damn it, Faye.
+1 die.
+1 die.
Bargain ever.
What'd you say?
I mean, you only have to give up your genetic information for +1D. I mean, who wouldn't do that?
Right. Seems like a
bargain.
Seems like a totally good, totally smart idea. What's the position?
Well, considering that you are willing to open the doors, it's still risky. There's a lot of people around here, and even if you're running above them and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see an argument for controlled standard effects. You tell me. You guys aren't in trouble yet. There's not a lot of alert, but this feels like the consequence is pretty risky.
Sure.
Yeah, if we get spotted, it's bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, no, I like it. Risky standard.
Yep, sounds
we
good.
just want to get there.
Yep.
And is that both of us?
Yes, it is both of you.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
But only Faye gets the bonus die because only Faye took a devil's bargain for this.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah. Nope. I'm good. I like it. I was thinking about trying to push to desperate, but I don't have any idea for it, so
Okay.
I don't want to do it artificially.
Well, with Baz's zilch and skulk.
Just click skulk. You'll
keep going. Okay.
You'll roll 2 dice and you'll take the worst.
Awesome. This is gonna be great.
Let's see how Baz
My
does
pizza
first.
shirt's really loud.
Yeah.
I mean, like of course.
Hello.
All right. Well, there's a 4, so that's already not bad, and it doesn't
My
cost
pizza
me
shirt
any
is the
stress. So let's see how well Faye can do.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just your genetic code. Oh, it's no big deal.
I don't know. You don't seem happy about this.
So I'm gonna give you guys just a couple of like small little set pieces. I think that there's this like moment where, as I mentioned, you're running on the pipes above. There are these large vats where they're cooking like a genetic
Clones?
fluid. Yeah, the pour
Clones. It's clone soup.
Yes, they're making clone soup. And it's kind of creepy, right? So like you guys are running on these pipes, and you see Yaru like stirring them and like checking levels and stuff like that. And above all of this, like there's like, if you want to think of this is almost like in a pit where the vats like run to the top edge of the pit, and a couple of people walk around the top edge to like monitor it. You guys are on pipes that run above it, but above all of that, there's several like metal cylinders with like glass fronts, and you see that inside them, like there's maybe 5. There's these like the elders, like the primarchs, the people that are supposed to be de-thawed. Well, these ones are on ice, and like each one of them has like a thin needle that goes into their neck, and periodically you see like down one of the tubes, like a little glowing droplet comes down and drops into the vats. And yeah, they have like these like molds, and like they'll pour the fluids in, and you'll see like people in like vats like growing. It's pretty, yeah. So, anyway.
So no, I don't want to move away from that this quickly. There's a buddy comedy straight to horror moment as we're doing this, where we're going along the pipes, and I look back and I'm like, you don't think Lauren actually wants kids, do you? And then And then we like come out into this room and we're all hot, and because we're up in the rafters, we're presumably all the heat rises from the machinery, and Faye starts sweating, and she looks down as like a single bead of her sweat like drips off the side of her cheek and lands in the goop below, in the pool below.
Into the
And it's just like and like and she's just like shh, let's put a pin in that, and does not actually want to have that continue the conversation after that.
So notably, two things that the camera lingers on for a split second as you folks are running off. I mean, obviously you see like one of the clones is like checking levels, and like when your drop like falls in, it like looks up and like tweaks some dials or something. But you notice that whenever they walk in front of the big vats, like with the frozen people in their sleeps. And you notice that one of the vats is empty because clearly they had to thaw out a guy to talk to you.
Mhm.
You see that when the Yaru walk by it, they like turn around and like bow to the sarcophagi that these people are in. And the other thing that you should notice is that the people growing don't have sigils on their foreheads. They're just organic matter in tubes, very creepy babies in tubes, So anyway, as you guys are going, I'm gonna the devil's bargain comes into play where you're in a hallway and you're seeing people coming down a hallway, and you're at a door and you know that it takes like 5 minutes to hack the door, and Faye puts her thumbprint on it and you guys get away, and you see like the guards like and a couple of the Yara like walking by, and you're at the area that you're supposed to be in. So like you're maybe in a room and it's got like a glass, it's like an overseeing room, and you can see like people walking down hallways and like the floor beneath, but there's a chamber and it's got like a big sarcophagus looking thing, and before you guys that the dude that you have like on your Palm Pilot, that it tells you that he's walking down the hallways or whatever.
Oh, terrible crack Palm Pilot.
Yeah. You see like the sarcophagus opens and out steps a Yaru, and it has like an imprint on its forehead. And there's another one like waiting in line to like get in. But like it doesn't have a sigil on its forehead yet. So that's the scenario that you guys are in, and I'm going to flash back to Lauren.
Yeah.
So Lauren, you've been crying and wailing and gnashing your teeth and appropriate stuff, right?
Mhm.
So tell me, like, are you keeping that up? Are you distracting this guy? Are you extracting yourself from the situation? You mentioned that you might want to skedaddle out on your own here. So tell me a little bit more. What happens when the camera flashes back to your scene?
Yeah. So last time we saw Lauren, he was like on his knees wailing about this, and also sending a text via the communicator saying like, "Oh my God, I need to get out of here. What's going on? Where are you guys?" So shortly after that, he receives the message saying we need to go to the imprinting chamber. And so he gets that message. We see that happen. And he stands up and just kind of like whips around and is like, "I need to find her. I need to find my wife. Which way is the restroom?"
The guy like is going to reach down and pull up like a map of the complex.
He's doing that, and I'm like, "I don't have time for this," and I storm out the door.
Awesome.
I love it. This guy cannot win to save his life. We're just like, no matter what you have, we don't want that. Don't want your clones.
That
Don't
one
want your
looks
stinking
like
bathrobe.
Matthew. This is horrible.
So I'm running through my head. So unlike many games, you don't just roll to roll, right? Like you only roll in Blades under one of two conditions. Either somebody is an obstacle, so either he's trying to stop you from leaving or cares about you leaving, which I don't feel is the case here, or there's the like risk. And I can't really see the risk here. Like you're just saying, "Hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom and confront my wife," and I don't know that he feels compelled to come with you.
Sure.
Because this feels like I feel like fictionally there's no obstacle and no risk to you walking out of the door. There might be an obstacle and a risk to the fact that he might wonder why your wife's been gone for 20 minutes, but like,
But after the relief of having all these defaults and their gross like sauce leave.
Yeah. So I think what happens is I don't know that there's a role here. Like unless you folks disagree with me, I feel like you're outside of the door before we pick up the fiction.
Yeah, I agree. I think your instincts are right to say that don't roll gratuitously. And we've established in the fiction that this guy knows that this guy doesn't have any reason at this point to think that Lauren isn't credible. And what he's picked up on so far is you think your wife's pregnant, but she's not. What he hasn't done yet is gone, wait, that's not the woman I just saw. So until that happens, he doesn't have any reason to be suspicious of Lauren. And I think that's a good,
All right, cool.
I think it totally makes sense.
Yeah, I think I leave him, and depending on the kind of person he is, he could possibly be kind of generally suspicious about like, what is this guy's deal, and he might look into it further and then figure out that things are bad. But I think as I am leaving, he has no reason to try to stop me.
That sounds great.
So
you're outside the door. What do? Do you try and rejoin the people? Do you try and run back to the ship? What's the plan here?
Well, my plan is to get to the imprinting room as well.
Okay.
Because it seemed like that's what Faye wanted. And so I kind of look around. Do I see anyone immediately as I leave the door?
Only for the purposes of entertainment. Far down the hallway, you see 2 7-foot-tall tiger people knocking on a door going, I have crackers and carbonated water. Like they're programmed to not necessarily go into the bathroom unless somebody says something. So,
Great. So I think I clock them and I head the opposite direction. And I'm looking for some sort of map terminal situation.
We're going to say, the guy did show you a map.
Okay.
And I'm sure that you guys have done some research, plus Faye and Boz found a map in the closet.
You?
Yeah, I feel like it's a serious.
So I know where I'm going.
You have a map. But what you don't have is an easy way to bypass locks and necessarily sneak around by yourself. So you got to tell me how you're going to overcome the obstacles of essentially locked doors with gene prints on them.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to try to find a Yaru, like someone who maybe works in the building as a janitor or something like that, who I can convince to help me.
No problem. You find somebody who's basically cleaning staff.
Great.
Environmental services.
Yes, environmental services.
Great. I think I'm going to pose as a scientist because I am very dashing like the scientists. Yeah, so I go to them.
Do you have, perchance, did you bring as one of your items maybe like a reversible coat where you can like flip it open and it like looks like a scientist coat? Is that a disguise? I believe disguises are part of something.
Oh, utterly.
Disguises are part of Scum.
Is it spy gear, probably?
Yeah, spy gear.
There you go.
Yeah.
What? Did you also bring spy gear?
Well, yeah, we're on like a reconnaissance.
We're totally on a
spy
spy mission.
Okay, then.
You
Awesome.
all brought that. I brought some tools.
Loren, you totally have a sweet disguise.
Part of the ability to look awesome in this game is the fact that you pick your load, but not your equipment.
Yeah.
So you just always have, until you run out of load, you just always have the thing. As long as it's the thing you have on your character sheet. And
Yeah.
What? Oh gosh, so the cool thing about this is that you've got a lab coat, and theoretically, lab coats have like your name on them.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to finding out, perhaps, what
What my
Fancy
scientist name is.
Awesome. So yeah, so you find this Yaru and you put on this lab coat and you're attempting to project the "I am a progenitor, you must obey me" kind of aura.
Mhm.
For fictional reasons that have, like, so mechanically speaking, there are 3 forms of strength that you can have on effect. They're scale, when you outnumber someone. They are basically quality. So if you have a fine item, so if it's a fine disguise or something like that, it would provide this. And there's a third, which is kind of a catch-all third category called potency, which is, for example, if you're firing mystic ammunition at a mystic because they're designed specifically to counter them, you have potency against mystics. And in a way that may not be clear to you, but we saw maybe a minute ago why. You have potency against this poor sap because you're invoking, I am a progenitor, you must obey and kneel to me, essentially, even if you don't understand that that's the context that you're approaching this in.
Mm-hmm.
So this Yar will respond in this area much as if you're in a position of authority, so you're going to have an effect level for free because you positioned yourself fictionally correctly. So
Nice.
go ahead.
Great. So this is, what is this? Is this a sway?
This can you. So technically, according to the rules, you tell me what it is.
Okay.
The only thing that I really do is sometimes you describe an action and I say, that sounds like a sway. Is that right? If you describe something as being a sway, so you're trying to fool this person into thinking that you're a progenitor level scientist, then that can be a sway. You could also argue command if you're like giving him orders.
I think I'm actually going to argue consort and kind of draw on my background as a person with some status to kind of just like project that status in this position, be confident, and be the speaker that I am.
Nice.
I would though I'm loath to suggest this, I would think that a way which you consort with a Yarrow would be to treat them poorly and not demeaningly, but like treat them kind of like objects. Like, give me the cup. Like you kind of saw the way he did it before, like 139 and 142. Bring me my toothbrush, right? Like in just like a computer, open up Microsoft Word kind of way, not a malicious way, but just
which I think is actually
you to do whatever I say way.
That's how Lauren treats them. And I think
you're the best, Lauren.
that you guys maybe haven't seen that much, but we do see that now where, he's just like, I've lost my way. This is my first week here. And I need you to get me to the place, to the imprinting chamber. I have some business there.
So you're trying to convince him that you're a progenitor from a different place and you're here to speak with one of the others.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally that would put you in kind of a that's a little bit of a hard sell. So I would usually say limited effect, but because you have potency, it's going to bring you back up to standard.
Okay.
So I feel like this is a risky roll standard, where the risk is that you'll essentially set off suspicion and alarms and cause people to be like more on alert. That essentially that alert clock will ratchet up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I would also did we get back to 3 gambits?
You're currently at 2.
Yeah, we got back to 3 and then I spent 1. I'm done.
All right.
You do have 2. So
spend it.
Do it.
I think I'm gonna push for it rather. I'm gonna take a stress.
Cool.
It's 2 stress to push.
Oh, 2 stress then.
Yeah, one stress to help,
Yep.
but I don't think we can help.
We've done enough helping so far.
All right. Risky, standard, 1 bonus die. Oh my god.
Ooh, 5. So I'm gonna take out this alert clock. So what's going to happen is, so this person will agree, but they're a little suspicious, and they're going to walk up to a door and they're going to lead you through. But as you walk by, like you'll see some people like look up from clipboards and look at you, and you'll see some of the people adjusting stuff, like look over their shoulder in confusion. So they're going to lead you. Like where, to the imprinting, or actually they're probably taking you to the main room where like all of the people are in the sarcophagi and whatnot.
How close is that? Like immediately adjacent to the imprinting room?
No, but it's close.
Okay.
It's narratively close. I mean, it's a couple hallways and some turns and a room or two. Like it's not some outrageous distance.
Okay.
Well, let's put it this way. Could it be a place where there might be a straight shot to get the heck out of here, so that when we meet up, you have gotten the way, at least a beeline to how we're going to get off this rock, because I don't think we're going to get out of here smoothly.
Where's your optimism?
Hey, you got 2 dots and scramble. There's got to be a reason for that.
Great. So I think I send these folks a message. I say, I'm nearby. I'm at the main room. Where are you at? Do you have our guy?
And we're gonna flip back to the 2 people. So if you recall, there was I'm actually gonna say that there's actually a sequence of sarcophagi, right? And like they bring in like a bunch of people, and then they put them in, and then they're gonna go through the process of the imprinting.
Yeah.
And you guys came in after stuff was done, and you actually see some people being taken out of the room, and they look like weary, and some of them look like they may have been like hurt or something. It's not really clear. Like you guys are kind of like overlooking it, almost as if they have like one of those like operating rooms where they have like people that are oversee it sometimes.
Theater.
You guys ended up into like the overseeing room.
Mhm.
So you have exits down into that room, and you can pop back out into the hallways. I'm not trying to make this like super difficult for you. And so you're looking down, and you're seeing the next batch being brought in, and you realize that the number that you were given of the person is basically approaching this room, so they're going to get imprinted.
Right.
So what are you folks doing?
The people that are going to get imprinted are they being escorted, and if so, by who or what?
Yes, they have a bodyguard or 2. They look like large animal people, and it doesn't look like they're being bossed around. It looks like the animal people are there almost to protect them rather than to command them. And they seem to be shuffling along. It looks like it's unclear. The social status and the social position here is not 100% clear, but they are wearing all identical robes, and they disrobe before they get into the giant sarcophagi. But the dudes that you saw, the like fierce looking dudes that are like beefy and everything, that have some like animal traits, there's at least 2 of them that are essentially escorting these people in.
Right. Awesome. And have we seen anything in here that resembles paperwork, data pads, whatnot, that would show the transmission of data? So far, we've seen a dude give out an order, but is it at all reasonable to assume that orders might come in the form of data pads or anything like that?
It's unlikely. This seems to be essentially, I'm going to put it as bluntly as I can, it's like a factory. They're printing people. It doesn't seem like there's significant data exchange.
Right. But okay, well, here's my idea, and you tell me if this was gonna make sense. I want to grab, because I think we established that there was some, I want to grab like a tablet. I want to load in documents to that tablet from my forged documents. That's one of my objects. It says that would give me a reason to say, we need to take this one to a different place instead.
Keep in mind that you guys are in an employees only area, and you don't have either A, a number, and you're not B, a progenitor. So you're going to be a stranger showing up when you're not one of these predictable models.
Right. So this is where we need Lauren to show back up as
I'm posing semi-convincingly as a scientist.
Exactly, as a progenitor. So I'm going to say in over the comm say, like, Lauren, meet us at this door. And I turn to boss and say, I'm gonna go down there and be Lauren's servant, and I need you to figure out a way out of here. And as I say that, I look like everything's really shiny. Like you said, everything's really sterile and shiny.
Yeah.
I look and look at the wall, and I take out from my spy kit like some, I don't want to say lipstick, but I'm like thinking of like some kind of makeup, and I like scribe a sigil on my head. And if I can flash back, it's the one that I saw in my nightmare.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Wow.
Good.
Uh,
I mean, if I remember it.
it is
My nightmares are super vivid. They stick with me.
into your mind, and if you attempt to scribe it, your hand will continue the process, even if you're not 100% sure about the law. So
Yeah.
no problem. I didn't see that one coming. Awesome, thank you.
Well, it's okay because I'm gonna probably ask for it as a devil's bargain in a second when I say I want to convince them that I'm a Yaru.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know. You tell me.
Sure. No, that sounds great. You should totally do that. All
Sorry,
right, cool. No,
but I
that's awesome.
couldn't mess up. So I want to run down to meet Laura and basically the two of us can confront them as a progenitor and another Yarrow. And I've got some documents that are forged that say they need to go somewhere else. I feel like this is a convincing lie at this point.
Awesome. So you grab a tablet and you're typing things as you're running, and there's not really a challenge. There's this one point where you walk by some people in a hallway and they give you nothing more than a cursory glance as you walk right the hell on by. And yeah, you're gonna, Lauren's like, folks, and that's, you can be popping out into the main room right around now. So the two of you are there. What are the two of you doing? I assume you're running up and you've got this tablet and
yeah, I run up and hand the tablet, and like the first swipe of the first like screen on the tablet just says that's our guy, and then I like finger swipe it and it has like official looking documents on it, and I hand it to Lauren.
And I have this like the close up of the camera kind of sees my eyes flash like, oh, and then like, right, I have to treat her like shit. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I like walk out the door, don't hold it open for her. And then we coolly and calmly make our way to the imprinting room.
awesome.
And I think we come in the door. Is everyone in that room Yaru, or is there another progenitor that I have to deal
That's
with?
an incredibly oh no, there's no progenitor there at the moment.
Okay.
No. As I mentioned, it's kind of a factory, right? Like it
Assembly line.
yeah, it's an assembly line. There's some complications which you're about to see. It depends on roles and stuff. But yeah, let me point this out. There are a bunch of sarcophagi, and I'm just gonna put this out there so that we're super clear on it. But they're made out of a strange stone substance that we may have seen something like a gate made out of. So just there's a little more to it, but yes, it's essentially an assembly line.
Okay. Great. So I walk in and I look to Faye to kind of like point out who it is. Faye, do you know? Can you point at the person?
Yeah. I try to look very demure, and I just say, we know the number. We know. So I say, yep, model 191.
Yeah, you can rattle off their gene code, or you can just put in and be like 736.
Yep, I say 736, and I point.
Great. And I think I don't even go towards him. I say 736. Come with me, please.
I feel like this is a command role because it's not him you need to convince to come with you. So this is really weird. Most of the Yari you've seen have very, very blank expressions, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put on specific expressions when either their jobs require it or somebody addresses them. But a lot of the like custodians and stuff are very like they don't seem to be projecting a lot of emotion. These ones that have no sigil on their forehead do seem to be. And he's definitely, he like looks around, he's a little scared. It's not him you have to convince, it's the guards.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So this feels like a command, like you're ordering people around and trying to use authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we have, I feel like we
assists and pushes and all that.
I feel like I don't know what our position's going to be like, but I feel like our effect should be very high right now. I'm posing as Yarrow. We have forged documents that can look official. Lauren is in a lab coat to look like a progenitor. It feels like if they believe that Lauren is the person that he's claiming to be, like this should be like very like, oh, of course we'll do it because
Okay.
you're that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It still seems risky, but I think
It
this feels
like
like
a
it's,
Sure.
risky great effect.
yeah, that's what I.
Sure.
Right. And I also feel like I'm getting an assist just by having Faye here
Yeah, I'm
as
gonna
like just
Faye,
Yep.
you spending a stress?
I am spending a stress.
Great.
That's why I didn't push before. So so I'm spending a stress. So you get a bonus die from me. You can also take a bonus die from a gambit if you want.
we only have one left.
No, they're
Oh, we have two
We
because
have
I
two.
didn't do it last time.
Yeah,
Right.
last time.
I think yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Tis the hour.
Yeah.
you're down to one.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. What?
Super crit. In the face, like
Oh, the crits.
Yeah.
The crittiest of crits.
Boom!
hot
That
plays,
went from
y'all.
a 1 die where you could not have critted
Yeah.
to, oh, that's so good. Gambit plus, oh, so good.
So I think that there's this moment where you're like, you point at him, and he starts to step forward, and one of the like animal types steps forward and says, my duty is to see these protected until they're imprinted. And there's this like close up of your face where you look up and your like eyes are they're like bright and angry, like to not literally, but like, your eyes are like burning fire, and you just glare at him and you're like, you project your persona. What do you say? Do you like give like you dare question me, or is it just a gaze? Like, what do you do?
I think I said like, do you know who you're talking to? Bring him to me now.
And I think that you can almost see like a reaction where like, their face like slackens and they actually make that little obsequious bow like they do before the sarcophagi.
Mm-hmm.
And they drag the person to you, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a mandatory like twirl with the lab coat flowing and then like a stalk out of the room.
Mm-hmm. And like a glare beforehand, like, how dare you? And then leaving.
Absolutely amazing. All right, so we're going to flash back to Boz. Boz, your job is to figure out a way out of here that isn't going to get them like stopped, because they're taking an unimprinted Yaru, which is about as illegal as it gets. So what do you
True. Well, I think this is where we like flash back to the part where I arrange with like one of the local kids to have like a awesome ice sled positioned nearby, right? Just near some vent somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm pretty sure. And like it seems like the thing, and like the kids probably rode in on like one of the Icelandic pony dogs, right? So there's a kid with and we'll go back. That's my plan.
So this feels like a flashback to having set up a ride.
Oh yeah, of course.
And this is a little out of the way and near the creepy facility.
That's right.
I don't know why, but I think that the Yaru guild symbol is this like stylized chimera.
Nice.
So like, they have stories of like the creepy facility and the monsters.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like this is I don't think that there's any risk. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is a too stress flashback unless I hear
No,
otherwise.
totally. No, I think that's right, because it's
Okay.
like I have to go find some willing kids who can like borrow their dad or uncle's sled, or like their hack job, right? Like errand ice boat, right?
Awesome.
That's my
So
thinking.
yeah, too stress, and
Great.
near a vent there is a sweet. I don't know. I feel like they may have like one of the sweet skimmers, because they're gonna have to take more than one person. No,
Yeah.
No,
or are
totally.
you guys gonna dive back in and?
Oh no, but they have a dog. They have an Icelandic pony dog, so that
Of course,
they
of
can
course.
leave,
Of course,
right? So the kids can get gone, but we're like,
you're borrowing their uncle's ice
Yeah.
skiff. as
yeah,
the case.
totally,
Um.
exactly.
All right. So I feel like there's this. So you have this set up, and
Right.
you're on comms, and the person confirms that they're out there.
Totally.
I want to say it's like a vaguely Swedish-looking girl with like golden braids over each shoulder.
Yeah.
With like the parka and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Goggles.
No goggles. I got
No
mine in my
goggles.
pocket.
Okay. And so you confirm with them. How are you guys getting this Yaru into the vents and out? Is this one more group skulk action before you're free and clear? Is that what I'm hearing?
I feel like maybe this is a. So what I'm imagining is like you two plus our new friend
Yeah.
are like walking down a corridor, like not sure where you're going, and
No, we're
Boz-
just like, we're
right?
leaving that place.
Right, and Boz has scrambled through like the ducts or whatever, all the overhead pipes, and like pops out of a janitor's closet because janitor's closets are the best. Right? Nobody wants to be in there. And it's like, this way.
Nice.
Like just
All right.
pulls you in and shoves everyone up. And
What do you guys? How are you? Okay. Well, no, it's easy enough for them to have a spare code for the Yaru. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. All right, cool.
So I think it sounds like we're doing another skulk. It sounds like we're
That's-
sneaking
Yeah,
out.
it really does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it really does.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So give me one last group skulk,
Yep.
and
Let's all do
you
it.
get a 6, you're free and clear. If you don't, there might be a chase scene over the ice. Is all I'm saying.
All right. So it's risky,
Yes.
standard effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Boz is leading this. Is that? Are you
Standard.
okay with that?
Yeah. That's the way of it. And I think in this case, because Boz is trying really hard to like not just want to go, like Boz just wanted to go hit the animal Yaru. Like that's the direct answer. Like how good are they? Like
You
they're like
you could have easily mugged them and taken that guy, but everyone has
that's-
to be suave and awesome and James Bond.
Yeah.
I accept. So in the
We-
meantime, go ahead, please.
Do we want to use our last gambit on this?
Yes.
Sure.
I think so. I think so here, talk me so consequences at this point is like Boz doesn't have any skulk. Right? So if I use a bonus die, does that get me to 1 die?
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
it does.
Gets you to 1 die.
So
yeah.
then-
Which gives you a 50% chance of rolling a 4 or 5 and not giving someone stress. Who's
Right.
taking this action?
Well, but Boz is leading it, so
Oh,
it's
okay. Yes.
it's,
And
So-
you can
it's
use a gambit. You can push yourself. You can get an assist.
yeah.
Help me make this decision. I'm not sure how to make a good decision here, y'all.
So how much stress are you at currently?
I am currently at I cannot count that fast 5.
Pushing yourself will put you at 7, which is not the worst idea because that means that when you vice, you can't overindulge.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a good option.
But since you're leading a group action, it's unlikely that 2 of us would roll ones.
So you could push yourself and go for a die. Honestly, I would say you should take the gambit die. Trust
Okay.
that Faye's going to get a 4 or 5, and
Okay.
I would suggest that Loren. Well, actually, what's Loren's skulk?
I have 1.
So
There's a
we'll
50%
all be
chance
rolling
you'll
1
be able to
die.
push yourself.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'll take the bonus die, which is spinning the gambit rather than
Yep.
pushing
Correct.
myself.
So now you
Awesome.
are at 0 gambits,
Yeah.
which is fine.
All right. All right, folks.
Would it be
Mhm.
an assist if I was like, I'm gonna take up the rear of this because I'm the most legit looking person of us, and
You guys-
if like does that
You
play
guys
out?
are crawling through vents and stuff, but you could, for example, give orders or guide the dude that's with you, which would relieve pressure on the rest of the group or something. Like maybe that'll work. Unfortunately, officialness doesn't really help when you're basically just like sneaking out.
Yeah, if I'm in
Yeah.
a duct, I was imagining the process of getting into the ducts that I could
Yeah.
help with that, but
Sure. But helping guide this person who's, I don't know how they feel, right?
Scared,
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to be very nice to this person.
That's okay.
Okay, great. If that's still helpful.
Yep.
It's still helpful. You're not used to anything different. So.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think I kind of take responsibility for him and
Awesome.
make sure that he's along for the
Awesome.
ride.
So
Awesome.
who do you want to assist? Do you want to assist Boz? I think that's a good.
Yeah.
That's the right call.
Cool. So,
Awesome.
Boz, you'll be
Mhm.
rolling. You should click your skulk, and you're getting 2 bonus dice.
Great.
Loren, you're going to be rolling your 1 straight die unless you push.
Mhm.
And Faye, I believe that you're rolling your standard skulk, which I don't know how much that is.
It's just one as well. So
Alright.
We are not skulky, but we keep skulking.
You chose infiltration.
Yes, we did. Learning
Yes.
opportunity.
It's okay.
absolutely.
It
Well,
also-
we feel like we're a sneaky group. Even
Uh,
We're
if
very sneaky and
Yeah.
cunning. We are
I think we
so
also have been doing very well.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
I'm gonna
Let's see
roll.
how this goes.
All right, let's do it.
I did not help you. Okay.
All right.
So the good news is you only take 1 stress,
Fantastic.
and we succeed, but there's a consequence,
Awesome. I'm so into it.
which I think is
Uh,
going to be the best consequence ever.
Yes.
It
All
was
right.
really
There's
the
that one
consequence.
stress.
Well, actually, I'm going to be a little mean, and
Uh-oh.
there's going to be 2 minor consequences, but one of them will become apparent immediately, which is obviously when you pop the hatches and like kick out the netting and get out onto the ice shelf or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The last tick of that clock will go off, and
Mhm.
you'll hear alarms go off. And the complication is obviously that they're gonna take out some gen-engineered hounds and a couple of their crazy animal folk and try and hunt you guys down before you can escape. So there's probably gonna be a chase scene here if that's okay. It might just be a helm
So
roll
good.
to
Yeah. There's
one of
totally
the-
going to be a chase scene here, and it's going to be awesome.
That's right.
so
Gonna
that's-
shoot
that's-
them.
That's the consequence. The consequence is you set off an alarm, and there's going to be pursuit. Is that cool?
Mhm.
That's
Awesome.
the
So, yeah,
best thing we could have hoped
Kick
for.
it out.
Yeah.
You're commanding this dude, and you're being a little mean to him, and you get him in a parka because he's like shivering and shaking. He's never been outside. It hasn't been this cold.
Never.
You get him on the skiff. There's this like moment where you like undo a knot, and there's that whoop as like
Yeah,
the
there
sail
is.
unfurls. And you
Catches the
see-
wind.
see the girl that brought the thing like hop onto the giant like nasty alien wolfhound.
Yes.
And so like it'll be galloping with like its nails hitting the ice and stuff like next to you and keeping up with the giant skiff. Because she's riding it like a horse. Because why not?
Of course you are.
Space.
Yeah.
It's a very
Peace, pony
exciting.
dog.
So like yeah, as you guys
no.
catch the wind and you know you hear the like the scrape of ice on the
Well, you kick
would have, like,
your
ice
rudders
cream.
first, right? You
There
got
you
to
go.
kick them loose of the ice because they might have frozen because you sat there for a little bit, and then you hop to and you run all your lines,
Yeah.
right?
holy shit, Boz knows way a lot about this. This is
Yes, I do.
Uh,
I feel like Boz has definitely run some weapons meetups and has on Lithios.
Nice.
Like that's like Boz is familiar with how the ice skiffs work.
So just as a
Great.
point of note for the purpose, oh, hang on, I'm gonna switch our
Yeah.
sweet display here. I'm gonna
Hold
switch to a
on.
different
I don't
Hmm.
know.
because now we're above ground. Ooh.
Whoa. That's look at,
Fancy.
look at all the hot air we're letting out of this place. It's very not like eco.
Yeah.
So I feel like so you folks are gonna see like essentially the equivalent of like little snowmobiles with like dudes on it with blaster rifles, and they're like coming out and you hear the barking of hounds and stuff, and they're coming up behind you as you guys catch the wind. So what are you folks doing to try and get away here?
All right, so I definitely spend a hot minute being like, Faye, you're better at piloting everything than I am, but I'm better at shooting. So here's how you do this thing, and I'm gonna go shoot some people.
Yeah,
so-
Faye doesn't say anything at all. She's not acting like she's done this, but when she picks up the reins or when she picks up the main lines to like pull out the
Yeah.
sail, she
Yeah.
clearly has. She's
Yeah.
So
clearly-
do we get like a crazy Moana moment where like the sail snaps open, you like run, you like
Dude, so-
slide under the sail as it's rotating, like jump up and like
Yes.
catch it and stuff. Oh,
Not only is Helm Faye's strong suit, but this is something she's done before.
Just a little
because
bit.
she grew up on this freezing my tits off planet.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to say it because she's uncomfortable with this.
but at least you'll show it and do
I
the
think
thing,
this is when
right?
it comes clear. Like
So good.
So good.
Cool.
I love
So
it.
I think I would like to see Boz maybe shoot some
Yeah.
people. So the question that I have for you is, keep in mind that you might be able to outrun the skiffs, but if they have those crazy bloodhounds, you people are going to be in trouble. So how are you? Are you shooting the people on the skiffs? Are you shooting the skiffs themselves? Or are you shooting the?
Do not shoot the dogs.
I gotta shoot the dogs.
Oh no! All right.
I'm not happy about it.
Okay, other question.
Yeah.
Second question. Are we going over any, say, I don't know, frozen lakes like are depicted in this
Clearly,
shot?
yes, there's totally a frozen lake above a subsurface ocean. And as a matter of fact, while you guys are racing along it in the distance, you see, because Lithios has these giant ice palaces, so there's this like frozen thing with like walkways and stuff in the distance that's like slowly moving as you guys are like skipping along.
And there's ice wine too, but that's not here right now.
So I'm gonna advocate for shooting the ice behind us, which
so laying down cover.
And then they can't follow because they'd fall into the water if they went into it.
All right.
I have something that I think I can deal with the dogs without shooting them with.
Okay.
So maybe let's do this first, and then if the dogs are still in pursuit.
Let's not call them dogs. Let's call them like weird and engineered.
They're gene hounds.
Yes.
Oh, so these aren't the Icelandic dogs?
No.
No, these are not our
different kind.
Yes, very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll just be like, I don't know. They're massive and strange and have tentacles and whatnot. They look like displaced your beasts or some nonsense.
I don't know why, but I was getting
what do you have for them? Do you have something that cancels scent? What do you have for these?
No, I have a luxury item with me, which I think is actually just like really, really nice. Basically, beef jerky.
Yeah.
This is just like high grade meat.
Odoriferous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Of course we send the hellhounds off with the haunch of meat. That's what you have the haunch of meat in your inventory for. You're like, why do I have this haunch of meat in my inventory?
So
I have it because it's delicious, you guys.
I feel like that's going to be a large item, if that's okay.
Oh, really? I was going to call it a luxury item.
No. I mean, you have three types of luxury items. You have like a small one, you have like a medium-sized one, which is like a bottle of wine, and then you can have a fairly large one. And I feel like this is a fairly large one, just because it's a haunch. It's not a
right.
A bite.
Well, that would put me past my light load.
Alas.
Yeah, because I have spy gear and a communicator already.
Communicators should be italic, are they not?
No,
they are not. But it would make sense that they were because they're so small.
Communicators are italic.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
And yes.
Let me double check. I think. Yeah, if you take a look at the actual PDF of 1.6 that I gave you guys, communicators are italic. I think they're just not italic on the.
Oh,
you're
right. Great.
Yeah, I actually they weren't italic initially because I felt like every sci-fi series has big bulky communicators. Like it's the whole like chirp chirp chirp.
Right.
Or like even in Star Wars, they have like little pipe-shaped ones that they have to hold that like eat up a hand. But I essentially,
I mean, in this day and age have this,
right? Yeah. But the thing is that technology is really weird in the hegemony because of how patents work and how the guilds have control of all production. So even though the technological level is well past that. It depends on what the guilds allow common people to make and how available they make it.
So it's inconsistent. Is that kind of what I hear?
It is very inconsistent, and it varies from planet to planet sometimes. But I got outvoted by John LL and a bunch of playtesters, so the communicators ended up being italic, so everyone can have a communicator if they want. Because
you didn't want that situation where the players couldn't talk to each other because somebody maxed out their load and doesn't have a communicator.
I personally think that that's an interesting situation, but everybody thought it was really dumb. So I was like, okay. But anyway, no, it's fine. So
folks, this game is in design right now. So we are effectively playtesting it as we play.
So good.
So you should be fine.
Great.
All right, awesome. So you're gonna drop a hunch of meat. Now, let me see. I'm gonna give them a fortune roll to see how well that affects them.
Okay.
So hang tight.
Do they have tastes for fine beef jerky?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
They're a
Come
predator,
on.
so they're supposed to hunt people. I feel like
What kind of luxury item is this?
I don't know exactly where it
it's
came from.
luxury. It's luxury. Oh, I'm gonna give you an extra die.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And it stinks to high heaven, which is part of why it's so good.
Yeah, it's aged
Oh,
in an oak
It's
cellar.
like the Cambazola of
It's
beef jerky.
bespoke jerky. It's bespoke hunt.
The Gorgonzola of.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they do.
So
Yes.
I think that there's
oh
probably
my goodness, Jordan.
where they attack each other. So like you see like one of them
Yeah.
like grabs it and then
Fuck
another one
yes.
attacks it and then their handlers are trying to deal with it. How do you deal with the like remaining skiffs that are chasing you then?
Well, so the really cool thing is that if I understand it right, like Boz probably did the unreasonable thing because Boz was really restless and probably brought that detonator along.
We didn't have that conversation of no grenades.
Okay.
You know what?
What if I need one?
So technically you rig explosives, but you can tell me how you're using it. Are you tossing it at the skiffs? Or are you dropping it on the ice? What's this?
So the trick is like you set the dial for whatever delay because it's gonna have a little like handy dandy like none, 3 seconds, 10
Yeah,
seconds.
sure, absolutely.
Right?
Click.
Then I'm just like click, boop, go really fast, fast.
Faster.
Awesome.
That's what-
You tell me what kind of action this is. I don't think it's a scrap, but I mean maybe you're pitching it with like the right.
I think it's a
amount.
rig. I think.
Yeah, I think it is a
It's
rig.
a rig. Okay,
Yeah. Or
Because you rig explosives, right? Like that's one of the things that rig does.
totally.
So would you like to give me a rig roll and we'll see how well this goes?
Yeah.
Would
Nothing
you like
bad
to
will
push
happen.
yourself?
Say it again.
Would you like to push yourself?
Well, golly, that seems like a great idea when we're playing with explosives. I mean, maybe everyone else would really like that. That seems like a thing.
I think it's gonna be great no matter what you do.
Also true.
Aw.
Shucks. All right, so this would be risky.
The risk is that you might get caught in some of that. I mean, it's a thermal detonator, so like thermal being keyword.
I
here,
know
you're
what
on
I'm
ice.
doing. It's just
Okay,
like throwing a ball, like with my family. I'm just gonna
No
huck it.
problem.
Perfect. I know what's happening.
Go
I've
for it.
used this before, all the time. And the effect would be
That's standard. I mean, it's roughly what you expect here.
sure.
Yeah, it's gonna blow a big ol' hole.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
I feel like this is risky. You're not trying to lure them in too close.
No. It just if in case they weren't convinced, like you can't come with us,
Awesome.
right? Like this is like you're not invited. Go away.
All right, so this is a rig, and you said you push yourself.
I did, so that's one bonus die.
Awesome, and so
Great.
that equates you to them on scale here. And you're
Wonderful.
dropping a detonator, and so it's +1 die. So your rig is what, 1, 2?
Yes, it's one.
So you're rolling 2 dice.
Yep.
Unless
have a
somebody
gap.
has a method of assistance.
Do we have a gambit left?
No,
We
you don't.
don't.
No, they have been spent.
It's okay if you roll a middling result. That's just gonna make this chase even more exciting.
All right.
Do it.
Boom.
Oh,
Oh, dun-da-da.
the push does it.
The push does it. So yeah, I think you drop it. There is a detonation. 2 of the little like things drop in. The third one tries to chase around.
Mhm.
Like the ice cracks, and like you see like a gazer shoot up, and they stop and then glare at you. And there's just the sound of wind and the giant Icelandic pony dog with the girl on it riding next
Yeah.
Yeah,
to you. And you get away. So I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the end of the score.
nice.
Yes.
And though a helm roll was not needed since you blew up our.
Yeah,
those
it was all going to come down to helm rolls if you afforded 5, because you were going to take out some of them, but some were going to chase you. Or maybe there was going to be a crack and your friend with the Icelandic pony dog was going to fall into the crack, and we'd have to see a
No, I know that would have been worth
Yeah.
it.
So I think unless you folks mind, we'll pick up next time with you guys dropping this person off.
Yeah.
and doing the payout and the entanglements and everything then.
Yeah.
And we should probably just hit XP because we're a little over on time and
Mhm.
call it an evening for episode.
Sounds good.
Is that cool?
Mhm.
Love it.
All right, cool. So XP, who wants to go first?
Oh my
Do
gosh.
this.
Um,
Did anyone roll any desperate actions?
I don't think we.
No, I was expecting things to go south, but you folks kept squeaking out them 6s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Jory. Oh my goodness.
I
Oh,
don't
no.
know. Today's my lucky day.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you start?
Command crit.
Why don't you start us?
In
All
triplicate.
right. All right.
Jory's the hero, so I guess you're up first.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I addressed a tough challenge with deception or influence. I mean, the whole being a doctor and and lying about my wife. So yeah, I'll take 2 there.
Yeah. I sure hope so. Absolutely.
I expressed my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I definitely felt like when you're like, I'm going to be a total jerk to these people and treat them like
Sure.
everyone else does. You established what is the sort of status quo of how people act, and we like to think of our characters as being of certain like higher moral fiber. But we live in this universe. I was gonna say world, but it's not a world. It's a bunch of worlds. But we live in this place, and this is how
Yeah.
people act. So I think you established that baseline in an important way. We can't all be like morally affronted by this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 1.
So I think
And I struggled with issues from my vice or traumas during the session.
You don't have traumas, and I don't feel like you really had vicing, so.
No, I mean, if anything, I didn't get to say this, but I think that my decision to give up the haunch of meat was a very difficult
I
one.
was wondering. I'm really glad it worked out for you, because otherwise,
Yeah, I feel like we didn't play that scene, but the way I imagine it in my head would be like, this is the only thing that we can do to get these things off our back. And
this is an interesting thing. You can retroactively say something was important to you, and that tells us a truism about your character. Like you can bring it up later on. It doesn't have to be if you did a thing and we just didn't see the kind of full ramifications of it, but you say that's important, then it is. So I think if that was hard for Lauren, then and that's going to be something that he's kind of like resentful about later on, I think you should take the XP for it. Because even if we didn't see it on screen as like why it was challenging too.
Sure, even though there wasn't like
I will challenge you to make sure to bring it up next time, because in general for this XP, I would like there to be some struggle or issue. And this feels like currently there wasn't a lot of struggle. So I would like to make sure that what Sean is saying actually comes to pass, where this is a thing that you bring up in the next session as being relevant or important.
Yeah.
This is the devil's bargain of XP.
I really like that. I think that's great, and I'm excited about it. So
cool.
So that's 4 total for you.
Nice.
All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Go.
Awesome.
Oh my God, background.
You
Sorry. Let's start from the top.
You addressed a tough challenge with charm or audacity. I do believe that I charmed, or perhaps horrified. Charmed.
Audacity.
The first primogenitor fella into letting us out. And I think using my thumbprint to get through a door.
Oh my goodness.
A bad idea.
Honestly, the audaciousness was the fact that you're drawing sigils on your forehead from your nightmares.
Yeah.
That was.
I also think that it was pretty audacious to be like, okay, giant tiger men, I need crackers.
And seltzer water.
Yeah.
I'm taking 2.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So good.
Let's see. You expressed your beliefs, choice, heritage, or background. Oh my goodness.
I think that
I don't know.
Yeah.
was huge for me in this game. This is apparently my home. This is my home. Let's go. So that's a thing. And B, I feel like every single element of this was revealing another part of who Faye is and what she's freaked out about. And the Yaru, the planet itself, the riding on the skiff, the nightmares.
I'm genuinely curious. Do you visit the old homestead before you leave?
I want the scene where the Stardancer is pulling out of port, and she's looking down she's like looking down. I don't know, like she's having Boz fly it because that she doesn't always have to be the what? Yeah, because that can't happen. And she's looking at the out one of the port windows. She's got like her finger on the window, and she's like sliding her finger along the window as she's like trying to keep it on her old homestead.
Cool.
But she's not ready to see her parents. She didn't leave on good terms, though. And you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during your session. No, I did not struggle with stupor. I certainly will very soon.
All right. Cool.
So I filled up resolve. I'm going to put it out in something. I'm not sure what yet.
Okay, sounds good. Boz,
Hello.
what are your XP triggers here?
Gotcha. So you addressed a tough challenge with force or threats.
I don't know that you threatened them, but I felt like you definitely had some intimidation with the giant tiger.
I was gonna say, I feel like I swaggered at them.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I'm like. Yeah, like I can show up. I'm with you. I'm one of you.
So do you have any other force or threats?
Well, I mean, we've got
up the beverage.
Grenades.
Wait, what are you
Grenades
talking
are
about?
force or threats.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, I feel like there was some savvy. This thing I happen to have in my pocket. Yeah, I think that was pretty
forceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good. It was
cool. So 2
clear.
XP there.
I think so. Yeah.
What's the next set?
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. So let's
What do
see.
you folks think?
I was specifically calling on Boz to know about what big families were like. I was like, I don't know what pregnancy's like. Tell me. And you're like, it's soda water and salsa crackers. Like I felt like it was important that you come from a big family when we were
Sure.
Fascinating. I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah.
because
I
I
also
clearly
feel
don't
like
at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
This happened with both Faye and Boz, but just your attitudes towards the Yaru came through very clearly, where both of you are kind of like, this situation is bullshit and those are people.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I also I feel like, and you can tell me whether this is part of your sense of being part of a crew and being part of a family. Lauren was all freaked out about hyperwave travel.
Yeah.
And your response was like, you're one of us, you're part of the family, so I'm going to take you under my wing, even though I thwarted it.
Yeah. Sure.
That's not
Totally.
The important part. The important part was that you're like, this is how we treat family.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is taking care of them.
Yeah. For sure.
That's
I'm feeling that very much.
I feel like it's a 2.
Yeah.
Cool. Into it.
Awesome.
And then the last is you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session, and I don't feel that came into play.
Yeah, I don't know that it did.
You're
until people pick up some traumas, which by the way is like the secret hacks for XP, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little tough to sort of like leverage very heavily.
Yeah.
Sure.
Obligation, pleasure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So final thing is we're going to do crew XP. So let's roll through that here real quick.
Do we execute a successful transport or smuggling operation? I believe we did.
Yes. So 1 XP there. Good job. Did you contend with challenges above your current station?
We did.
Fuck you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I have one at least. If you have a few, you should tell me a second one.
Well, what are you? So
I'm doing it for the Yaru because they're a higher tier group.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I saw is that we had.
Sure.
I mean, it happened multiple times, but
Right, but it's still under that same domain. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Do we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? I don't know because we haven't really delivered it yet. so I don't know that what has happened yet. I think it'll happen.
So I'm gonna note that we have 0 gambits here on the ship, and I'm also gonna note crew reputation X2 next time.
Yeah.
On the ship.
We're up to 1
So that-
gambit because we just did a risky roll and got a 6 on it.
Oh.
The bomb was a generated a gambit.
You're right.
Not
So
that
you have one going into downtime. All right. So next time, if you guys complete the job, we'll count that as 1 XP, and then if your reputation was tied up in it, and then we'll deal with the downtimes and whatnot for the
Cool.
next.
Nice.
express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. And
I definitely thought that the interplay between Faye and Lauren
And Lauren, oh yeah.
very much the essential nature of the crew.
yeah,
Like, and you're pregnant. Oh, of course I am, honey.
Yeah.
It's
Superb.
one of those moments where, if you watch a TV show, it's like nailing the characters, right? Like it's like, oh, that's so classic Faye, or like, oh, that's so Lauren, right? So I definitely see 1 XP there, but like, do you guys feel like you had other conflicts or
goals or drives?
Yep.
I really feel like all of us were like, this is the worst job ever. We hate every single part of it, but we're super broke. We need to do it. Like this, like
Yeah.
none of us. So I feel like the goal of like, we need to get our feet underneath us was really came
Sure.
through when we're just like, I don't want to be on this crappy ice planet. I don't want to be dealing with the Yaru.
Mhm.
Gotta. And it was, you know, there was a time when we had a choice and we're like, nope, we're doing it. We're doing it. So I think that was our goals or our drives.
Mhm. Mhm.
I also think that the moment with Boz and Lauren, where Boz kind of took care of him,
Yeah.
kind of also similarly expressed nature of the crew, where Boz is like, this is family, even though sometimes you're a jerk. Like,
Right.
I can recognize what's happening in you right now, and I'll be there for it, which is really important.
Yeah.
awesome.
So that puts us at 8. There we go. That fills
Oh,
us.
at 8,
Yeah.
which means that you go down to 0 and you get an advance.
Yeah. So,
Do you guys want a slash, 2 boxes, or a power? Or, well, you don't have 4 coins, so you can't take a crew.
I would like to do a crew upgrade at some point, but
Maybe next time.
yeah.
You'll actually get some pretty good pocket change.
Yep. So why don't we?
Step 1, everybody take 2 stash.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
We all get the money.
Choo choo.
And then, do you guys know if you want to get a ship upgrade, a power, or 2 boxes?
Oh gosh.
What are boxes?
So things like crew quarters is an example. Also,
It's the place to put the upgrades for the
yeah,
ship,
you can
right?
get,
Like,
get
Yeah.
trainings, you can get ship gear, or crew gear. You can get crew or ship upgrades.
We did talk about training last time. That's like this would
Mhm.
be a cool thing. And
Yeah.
I think it would be a neat. It
mhm.
would be a nice thing to have if because then we can make better use out of downtime training actions because we've already
Yeah.
done some of those. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would be keen on that.
cool.
Do you guys want 2 trainings?
What's the implication?
So if you take, for example, a resolve training, then when you take a training action for resolve, instead
Got
of
it. It's for
1
each of the
XP, you get
type.
2 XP. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's 3 types for skills, and there's also
Got it.
personal training for if you train your personal skill.
Got it.
Right for moves.
What do you all think?
Right.
I'm kind of keen on personal and prowess, but I'm also
I think prowess would be great because I only have a die and skulk, and I feel like we could use some help in those things.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about prowess, Andy?
I am way into it.
Cool. All right.
I
let's
am
take
quite
that one.
kidding.
All right. So that's good. And then the other one,
I'm into whatever y'all are into. I was really keen on prowess was the one thing that I was gonna be like, yes, please. So
Yeah, I would love to continue building up social skills because that is clearly the strong suit of our characters. Well, at least the strong suit of Lauren and Faye.
Sure.
So I could also make the argument for resolve.
Mhm.
If
So we have two things.
Mhm.
No, I was going to suggest something ridiculous, and I'm not going to do that.
no, say
How
it.
ridiculous.
Well, I just see that we could have an alien pet, and I'm like, well, what if we just took with us an Icelandic pony dog?
That's
one
Of course,
you know.
there's value in that.
I did not see that at all.
Did you folks read the description of the alien pet? And so I'll read
No.
it for everyone watching.
It's a cute nuisance.
Oh no, it's hilarious. So it says alien pet. 1 second, I have it here. Lovable rapscallion or loyal guardian. These critters are usually far more trouble than they're worth. Where did you get it? So yeah, that's totally a thing you can take.
We totally got an ice planet pony dog with us. That is perfect.
Well, like we didn't get to pick. It just came on the ship with us.
I
Right?
think
Like,
at some point, I'm gonna call our clone David for now. I think we stopped and David like wandered off and pet it, and it is like attached to him.
Awesome. No, that's totally fine. So like you have this clone that's never been outside of its creche and it's terrified and scared and it bonds with a pony dog. You're like, well, I couldn't have left it on the planet. And you're like, what the hell are we gonna feed it? It's like 6 feet tall. Where's it gonna sleep? We have a cargo bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Boz is super in support of this critter coming on board. That's like, Boz is like, yep.
Faye is so like, that is disgusting. A slavery beast. That is a beast of burden. That thing pulls sleds. You give it big old hunks of meat and you leave it in the ice. You don't bring it inside. Mom always told me, do not bring the dog inside.
I think Lauren is the kind of person, and I've known people like this who are like, oh, we have a cat, but I just fucking hate the cat. But then you'll see them sometimes and they're like petting the cat. And they're like, no, I don't like this cat. I don't know what you're talking about. No. Mm-mm.
So good. Yeah.
Alien pet. There we go.
Icelandic pony dog named Burden.
Yeah.
Named Burden. I love that. All right then.
Awesome. So our next character can be, if anyone wants to play, you'll have an option of playing as named Burden.
Well, keep in mind that a Xeno is a person that's not human.
That's true.
If you are a creature from a planet, you're not a Xeno. You're just an animal.
Yeah. Good point.
So,
to our knowledge, Burden is not sentient.
Burden can be a highly intelligent dog-like creature that's bigger than a Saint Bernard and lives on your ship. Yes.
I'm really excited about this. Thank you for saying what you were thinking, Corey. Thank you so much. I'm really delighted.
I really want this.
This is always why like people are like, well, I have a stupid idea. And I'm always like, well, at least say it. The worst that we can say is, no, let's pick something else,
Yeah. I also love the idea of like him getting inside the cargo hole. And how you described how over time, like ice had sort of built up in the corners of things. Like him like licking at some ice in the corner, and then of course, absolutely, because no dog walks into a new place that they haven't been to before without like licking that, it's like, and then peeing right in the same spot, or not right in the same spot, but.
I'm sure that there will be an adorable montage in the end credits where like somebody has like it's like yelling at the dog and then the dog like puffs itself up and goes into attack mode. The people are being chased around the ship. And there's a picture of it like using up someone's entire room space curled up there.
Yeah, we just got Clifford.
Just Boz sleeping on top of it inside the room space.
Oh, totally. Well, the thing is, Boz is in the hammock, but the critter has crawled under Boz, and Boz is actually playing on Burden.
The hammock is now laying on,
yes,
on
absolutely.
Burden.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Keep in mind this thing is large enough to be ridden. So
yeah, that's weird height.
Cool. Great. All right, so that was game.
Yay, pony dog.
Episode 3. It's a wrap. Good job, everybody.
Welcome, Burden.
Everybody in chat, thank you for hanging out with us. Everybody who will be leaving awesome comments into YouTube videos, thank you for that as well in the future. And hopefully we'll see you here in 2 weeks for episode 4, Scum and Villainy Stardancer on Actual Play.
All right. Bye all.